And headlines: Prime Minister Abiy inaugurates Entoto Kabana Riverside Development Project. And the European Union delegation expresses concern over TPLF's military conscription in Tigray region. Hello, this is ABC World, your new voice of Pan-Africanism, coming to you live from Addis Ababa, Africa's diplomatic capital. I'm Santayo Tamrat with the news hour. Do stay tuned. Addis Ababa is stepping up its environmental transformation with expanding greening efforts, river restoration and urban development projects aimed at tackling climate challenges. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has inaugurated Sunday the Entoto Kabana Riverside Development Project, a major initiative designed to protect the environment while enhancing the city's beauty and livability. Shagama does more on that.
Addis Ababa is accelerating its transformation through ambitious greening, river restoration and urban development projects. Beyond improving the city's appearance, the initiative is aimed to strengthen climate resilience, enhance the quality of life for residents and position the capital as a competitive destination for tourism and investment. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has inaugurated the Entoto Kabana River and Riverside Development Project, covering 87.6 hectares along a 10.5-kilometer river corridor. The project features integrated flood protection systems, modern bridges, landscaped public parks, and green recreational spaces designed to restore the river ecosystem and improve the city's urban landscape.
For many years, we failed to recognize the immense potential that already existed around us. When we identify our resources and plan properly, meaningful development follows. Our corridor development strategy is guided by three principles: place, pattern, and people. We identify the right places, develop them through a coherent urban design, and ultimately create attractive and livable spaces for our citizens, especially the younger generation.
የመጀመሪያው place ነው ቦታን ለይቶ አንጥሮ ማየት መቻል.
Ethiopia possesses significant natural and human resources that can be harnessed through coordinated planning and effective leadership. Rivers, once overlooked, are being transformed into clean public spaces with walkways, parks, and recreational facilities comparable to those found in leading cities around the world.
ገንዘብን፣ እውቀትን፣ ጉልበትን፣ ሐሳብን.
These achievements are the results of our own expertise, leadership, and determination. By bringing together our knowledge, natural resources, and skilled professionals, we are creating projects that many believed were impossible. Our efforts are also contributing to the fight against climate change. But we must do more by protecting our lakes, rivers, forests, and natural environment. Protecting nature is essential for protecting our future.
የለም ይገባናል የለም እንችላለን.
River restoration and corridor development program are expanding across Ethiopia, which was commenced in Addis Ababa as part of a broader strategy to protect ecosystems, strengthen climate resilience, and improve the quality of life for citizens. As a result, supporting and safeguarding these environmental transformation efforts are the responsibilities of citizens.
As we move on, the European Union EU delegation to Ethiopia has expressed deep concern over the deteriorating security and political situation in northern Ethiopia, as growing reports indicate that the TPLF hardliner leadership is propagating another episode of conflict. In a statement issued Monday, the EU said it is particularly concerned by the actions attributed to the defunct Tigray People's Liberation Front TPLF, including the establishment of a parallel regional council and the unilateral enforcement of military conscription in the Tigray region. The EU warned that these recent developments could undermine the gains achieved under the 2022 Pretoria Permanent Cessation of Hostilities Agreement. It added that such actions contravene the provisions of the Pretoria Peace Agreement and risk escalating tensions in the region. The EU emphasized that the urgent resumption of talks on the concrete implementation of the Pretoria Agreement by all parties is essential to safeguarding the peace process and preventing renewed instability. Reaffirming its commitment to lasting peace in Ethiopia, the Union expressed its full support for the mediation efforts led by Olusegun Obasanjo, the African Union High Representative, to facilitate dialogue and promote peace and stability in northern Ethiopia. Ethiopia's Green Legacy Initiative is more than a tree planting campaign. It is a powerful movement for ecological restoration, climate resilience, and regional sustainability. In an exclusive interview with ABC's Addis Dialogue, a plant ecologist at Addis Ababa University explains how Ethiopia's Green Legacy Initiative has evolved into a transboundary environmental effort, creating a green brotherhood that benefits not only Ethiopia but also downstream nations including Sudan and Egypt. Jerusalem has more on that.
As climate change accelerates and environmental degradation intensifies across the globe, the search for practical, scalable solutions has never been more urgent. For many developing countries, balancing economic growth with environmental protection remains one of the defining policy challenges of the century. Ethiopia, however, is pursuing a different path, demonstrating that ecological restoration and sustainable development can advance together. Through the Green Legacy Initiative launched in 2019, Ethiopia has transformed environmental restoration into a national development agenda. In an exclusive interview with Addis Dialogue on ABC, Shambel Alemu, Assistant Professor of Plant Ecology at Addis Ababa University, said the Green Legacy Initiative is far more than a tree planting campaign. He described it as a nationwide movement that strengthens ecological restoration, builds climate resilience, and promotes environmental sustainability across the region.
It was then started just to reduce deforestation and to avoid land degradation, but then it completely shifted to in a way that which is globally accepted to combat the impact of climate change. So this initiative brought about very, very important components. For example, it brought about biological and ecological restoration.
Since the launch of the Green Legacy Initiative, Ethiopia has planted more than 48 billion seedlings. The country has now begun the 2026 phase of the program with an ambitious target of planting 8 billion additional seedlings nationwide, which will bring Ethiopia's cumulative total will reach 65 billion seedlings planted since 2019. According to Shambel, this achievement represents far more than an impressive figure. It reflects Ethiopia's long-term commitment to restoring degraded landscapes, enhancing biodiversity, and strengthening resilience against the impacts of climate change.
One is we have increased the national forest cover of Ethiopia. It has been some years back, we have been counting that 45% of land of Ethiopia have been covered with forest vegetation. Nowadays, we have like 23.67 percentage coverage of Ethiopian national forest. This is one of the tangible benefits that we account from this initiative. The second one is in terms of biodiversity recovery. We said biodiversity is all about plants, animals, and microorganisms. Unless and otherwise we have or we maintain vegetation, we cannot talk about microorganisms, we cannot talk about wildlife. So that we have now restored the area, then we are having a number of wildlife.
He also noted that the Green Legacy Initiative has evolved into a transboundary environmental effort, creating what he described as a green brotherhood that extends beyond Ethiopia's borders.
Once you have green brotherhood, it is a transboundary. And this comes as a result of a green initiative. And this fosters and strengthens African environmental sustainability. And once we are working on this Green Legacy Initiative, we can say that it is used as a transboundary defense against mitigation of climate change in a way that we conserve the water, we sustain the flow of Nile River, for example, and the downstream users such as Sudan and Egypt will benefit from this. So it is a transboundary.
The Green Legacy Initiative has increasingly gained international recognition not only for its unprecedented scale, but also for its integrated approach to environmental restoration. By combining afforestation, watershed rehabilitation, biodiversity conservation, sustainable agriculture, and climate resilience within a single long-term strategy, the initiative is helping Ethiopia accelerate sustainable development while contributing to broader regional environmental security.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the news from ABC World. And finally, German Deputy Permanent Observer at the African Union noted that Ethiopia has been playing a key role in fostering peace and integration in the region. The observer pointed to the positive influence Ethiopia has been playing in the Horn of Africa due to its geographic and demographic importance. Yapsran Dalkacho has the details.
The nation has supported the peace and security efforts in neighboring countries, he added, underlining the stability of the Horn of Africa is unattainable without its involvement. The Germany Deputy Permanent Observer cited Ethiopia's participation in Somalia in countering terrorism and strengthening stability in the countries as an example.
It's clear without Ethiopia, peace and stability on the Horn of Africa are not possible. Ethiopia is playing a very important role, for example, in Somalia, by their contribution of troops to AWSOM, and that's a very important contribution, for example, for fighting terrorism in Somalia, for contributing to the stability of this nation.
Moreover, Guterres said Ethiopia's pursuit of economic development aligns with broader integration efforts, emphasizing the significance of regional cooperation and economic integration among neighboring states as a pathway to long-term peace. In this regard, Germany is closely working with Ethiopia to foster peace and regional integration, such as strengthening border governance, border security, and measures to improve the livelihoods of border community under the umbrella of African Union. According to him, Germany also supports economic integration initiatives, particularly the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. He elaborated that trade integration through African Continental Free Trade Area can generate jobs, improve prosperity, and create new job opportunities for African businesses and consumers, adding that such outcomes would be especially important for Ethiopia as it seeks growth and development.
But we're also, for example, supporting on economic integration, on, for example, the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, because we really believe that economic integration, trade integration can create new opportunities for African member states and for African businesses and for African consumers. This can create jobs, this can create more prosperity, and this will also be, I believe, very important for Ethiopia for creating prosperity and opportunities here. So we're very grateful, we're very proud that we can support African member states in this process of implementing the African Free Trade Area.
Guterres finally stated that Germany is proud to support African member states in implementing African Continental Free Trade Area and advancing regional cooperation.
That's the news we have for the hour, and a quick reminder of top stories now. Prime Minister Abiy inaugurated Ntoto Kabana Riverside Development Project. And the European Union delegation expresses concern over TPLF's military conscription in Tigray region. Thank you so much for watching the news from ABC World. I'm Santayo Tamrat with this news hour. Do stay tuned with the rest of ABC World programs. See you.